Alright, Schlockmeister fans, by request, a couple of back-to-back Jamie Lee Curtis movies. Did The Fog, and now it's time for Prom Night. Let's watch. You have some kids playing a game in an abandoned building. This one girl, Robin, is being cornered by the group.
Killers are coming. Killers are coming. Killers are...
And then this horrible accident occurs. She falls and dies.
They'll put us in jail. If we tell anyone, they'll say it's our fault. Who'll believe it was an accident? What if... Listen to me. We'll go home now and never, ever tell anyone.
Leslie Nielsen, the father of the girl. Ultimately, some sex pervert got
Probably the victim of a sexual attack.
fingered for the crime.
She must have resisted.
Got arrested. Fast forward 6 years later to 1980.
Jude.
Yes?
Can you come out to play tonight?
That was one of the girls as a kid.
I'll see you at Kelly.
Kelly gets a call too.
It's been a long time. Tonight, it's my turn. The circumstances of the Hammond girl's death are unclear. Murch lived near the place where she died, and he's a known sex offender. Was, past tense.
That was Lou smoking, local thug.
Missed you on the bus today. I didn't ride it.
And of course, Jamie Lee Curtis.
I gotta ride it. Who with? None of your business. Who with?
As good as mine, Lieutenant.
Someone gets killed, and they think that
Against who?
that guy is back.
You? The police? The hotel? No.
Practice makes perfect.
This is Wendy, the bitch.
It's always so perfect.
Her ex-boyfriend is now going out with Kim, Jamie Lee Curtis.
You are keeping in mind that after tonight is all over, everything's gonna be back to normal. Well, because I don't want to leave it at that.
This is Nick, the guy that Wendy and Kim are fighting over.
Well, you blew it.
Seems like Nick has made his choice.
Said I play favorites, I take it easy on Alex because he's my son. Well, you're right. You have been nothing but a disgrace to this school and this community. You're suspended indefinitely. Now get out.
The two boys got into a fight. Nick was one of
I
the
know what you're feeling.
kids from years earlier, too.
Listen, Kim.
Lou?
Wendy wants revenge.
How do I know you're serious about this?
What do you mean serious? Man, I hate that school. Hammond and his whole fucking family.
Okay.
She's gonna get revenge. Looks like she's a target. And she's not the only one who received one. This is Alex, Kim's brother.
Over here.
Thank you.
And it's prom night.
Oh, you've done this before, I see.
And it's prom night. Filmed right at the end of the disco era. It's disco! Kelly and Drew sneak away from the prom to make out in one of the classrooms. Although Kelly's a little unsure if she wants to go all the way. She won't do it.
Please. If you don't, I don't blame you, will.
Ouch. Kelly doesn't have long to feel sad, though. Because as soon as Drew leaves, the killer comes in and slices her throat. Another couple that were just having sex are now smoking pot.
You know?
He killed the girl, and then he got this to happen. Apparently that van was stolen prior to this scene being filmed. Back at the school, Wendy's being chased now. Now, in spite of the fact that there's a prom going on at this school, she runs all over the place and she cannot seem to find a door that will open for her. So things aren't looking good for Wendy. But she puts up a damn good fight. Or at least a damn good chase. Now she found a door. Oh, never mind. She can't find an exit, but she does find a body.
Well, actually, the state patrol got him out near Alderson.
Apparently the sex pervert has been caught.
Yeah, he must have left town after he killed that girl in the convent.
Of course, you know he hasn't killed anybody.
I can start enjoying the prom.
Anyway, Nick and Kim are supposed to be king and queen of the prom, but Lou had a couple of his buddies knock out Nick, and he was going to assume the role of king. I guess this was all part of Wendy's plan. But the killer finds Lou first, and off with his head. The severed head makes everybody clear out of there, except for Kim and Nick, apparently, and our killer. Finally, Kim gives him a good bash. That bash on the head from Kim is gonna kill him, but he's still got a few steps in him. And at this point, Kim realizes who the killer is. As he dies, he reveals that he saw his sister Robin killed years earlier. It's Kim and Robin's sister Alex. Apparently Alex and Robin were twins. Okay, let's talk about Prom Night. This is a movie I have not seen in a very long time. I saw it back on cable back in the 80s a few times. I taped it on a beta tape back then. I think I watched it again in the mid-90s when I retaped it onto an SP speed tape on VHS, and I don't think I've seen it since. So maybe, no, it's been a long time. So I enjoyed the movie. It stars Jamie Lee Curtis. Leslie Nielsen is in it. It starts out, there's some kids playing in this abandoned building or something, and things go bad, and this one girl falls out a window. She was kind of being teased or stalked by the other kids. It's an accident, but nonetheless, all the kids, she falls out a window and dies. All the other kids say, we gotta keep this quiet, nobody say anything, and that's what happens. Ultimately, they think this perverted sex fiend who's in the area is the one who did it, and he gets arrested for it and apparently charged. I don't know. The kids never talked about it, though. Fast forward 6 years, all these kids are now in high school. They're either juniors or seniors, and they're going to prom. And suddenly someone starts picking them off one by one. We see the killers through the point of view, looking through a yearbook and crossing names off, that sort of thing. He's getting revenge against all of them who killed this girl back in the day. But who is the killer? Well, we have a final showdown at the end. The killer's at the prom. He kills a few people, and then he's going after Jamie Lee Curtis and her brother, or I'm sorry, her boyfriend Nick, I believe was his name. And then it turns out the guy's wearing a mask, but ultimately he's unmasked after Jamie Lee Curtis smacks him in the head and he's dying from his wound. It turns out it's her twin brother Alex. Actually, no, it's her brother Alex, but I think it's he was twins with the girl who died. I think that's how it was. He actually witnessed the event years ago. At the very beginning, we saw a shadow there, so we know somebody else was watching it, and now he's taking revenge 6 years later. That's our film. Again, I enjoyed this movie. There's a small body count. I think there's only 8 people who die in this movie. A few gore scenes, not a lot, but there is a really cool beheading. This movie has a very similar feel to Carrie. It takes place at a prom. There's this bitchy girl who's taking revenge against the prom queen, in this case Jamie Lee Curtis, because she's dating her ex-boyfriend. And we also the bitchy girl is teaming up with this hood, who's kind of like the John Travolta role in Carrie. And ultimately, things go wild at the prom. We have a beheading. So there you go. Interesting, the disco score in this movie apparently is very sought after by collectors. It was released on album in Japan, on tape, and on cassette. An album in Japan that's very sought after. Apparently, they had used real disco songs when they were filming it, like Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive. But they decided it was going to be too expensive to get the rights, so they decided to write new songs, but they kind of used the same format of the songs they were using, and they ended up getting sued and had to pay like $50,000 at some point after the film came out. You can tell some of the songs are very similar to I Will Survive, as well as Bad Girls by Donna Summer. But anyway, it spawned 3 sequels, I think, and a remake. I've seen Hello Mary Lou Part 2, which I have that as well. I think I have 3 and 4 on DVD, but I don't have Part 2 on DVD, but I have that on videotape. Has one of the best news scenes ever in a movie, Hello Mary Lou, but I'll have to review that at some point too once I get the DVD of it. So anyway, you can get this. I believe it's on Blu-ray now too. This is a DVD that came out in 1997 from Anchor Bay. So this thing's over 20 years old. Still plays great though and looks good. So anyway, check it out. Let me know what you think about it. Leave some comments down below. It's called Prom Night. Watch it. Bye.